You think you know the truth? Think again. Today, the rules of the universe change. We are entering the dark world of Project Hail Mary. Forget everything you've seen. This is the real deal. And if you want a quick summary, check out the shorts in the description and the pinned comment. Now, let's get into today's story.
All right, let's get into a story that's, well, it's as epic as the cosmos, but at the same time, it's incredibly personal. It all comes down to one man and one impossible choice. This is the story of Project Hail Mary. Just picture this for a second. You wake up, the first thing you notice, the low hum of machinery, and a voice that is definitely not human. You have no clue who you are or where you are. The only thing you feel is this overwhelming, crushing sense of being completely and utterly alone. So you start exploring this metal cage you're in. And the truth? It hits you in the most horrifying way imaginable. You find two other people. They're not alive anymore. They're just desiccated husks. It clicks. You were part of a crew. And now you're the only one left. And then the final piece of this nightmare puzzle snaps into place. You make it to the control room, you look out the window, and that star, that's not our sun. You are in insane distance from home, 12 light years to be exact, on a mission you can't even remember, trying to solve a problem that apparently has already doomed everyone back on Earth. So yeah, this is the situation our hero finds himself in. He's got to figure out not just who he is, but why in the world he's on this desperate last chance mission to begin with. So his name, we find out, is Ryland Grace. And here's the kicker, the real ironic twist. He's not some kind of seasoned astronaut. Nope. He's a former scientist who became a junior high school teacher. A teacher. He's the last guy alive on a ship they called the Hail Mary. Talk about a long shot. And he's headed for a star called Tau Ceti. But why? Yeah, that part is still a complete, terrifying blank. But little by little, his memory starts to coming back. These fragmented flashbacks start to paint a picture, a really grim picture. Grace starts to realize why humanity would bet everything on this one-way ticket into deep space. The reason? Because back on Earth, the lights are literally going out. The bad guy in this whole story isn't some alien warlord. It's a microbe, a tiny little organism called Astrophage. And what does it do? Oh, you know, it just eats our sun. It soaks up solar energy and stores it. But here's the wild part. This cosmic plague, it also happens to be the most incredible fuel source anyone has ever seen. It's the very thing that got the Hail Mary all the way out here. And its life cycle is just terrifyingly efficient. Step 1, they gas up at the sun. Step 2, they hitch a ride on magnetic fields all the way to Venus. Why Venus? Because they love that CO2-rich atmosphere for breeding. And then step 4, billions of new astrophage fly back to the sun to start eating again. And with every single trip, Earth gets a little darker and a little colder. We're not talking about a coming ice age, it's already here. And this is where a voice from his past comes in. Eva Stratt. She's the woman in charge of the whole Hail Mary project, and let me tell you, she is all business. She's the kind of person who would sacrifice absolutely anything and anyone to give humanity a shot. And guess who she picked as humanity's last hope? Ryland Grace, the school teacher. So Grace finally gets to Tau Ceti, the destination. But the relief doesn't last long. He makes a shocking discovery. This star, it's infected too. It's dying too, just like our sun. It feels like the end of the line. But then, something happens that's just impossible. He picks up a signal. There's another ship out there. Right at the moment when his loneliness is at its absolute peak, Grace stumbles upon probably the biggest discovery in all of human history. The big one. We're not alone. There is another ship, and it is obviously not from Earth, just hanging out in orbit right next to him. And this right here is where the story just takes off. Because on the other side of a see-through wall is this 5-limbed, kind of spider-like creature that Grace ends up calling Rocky. And the differences between them are just mind-blowing. I mean, Rocky breathes ammonia at like 29 times our air pressure. He doesn't have eyes. He sees with sound, kind of like a bat. But for all the things that make them different, they have one massive galaxy-sized problem in common. Their home stars are also on the Astrophage menu. So how do you even begin to talk to someone like that? Well, you use the one language that's actually universal: science. They start with the basics, right? The periodic table, physics, math. And slowly, piece by painful piece, they build a bridge between their minds. It's incredible. A lone human and a lone Iridian, each the last survivor of their mission, discover they're basically in the exact same boat. Once they can talk, everything changes. Their missions merge into one. They're not just survivors anymore. They're a team. A two-person, two-species science team on a mission to save two different worlds. And working together, they find it. They actually find it. There's this planet nearby, they name it Adrian, and on that planet, they find out the Astrophage have a natural predator, a microbe from that world that just eats Astrophage for lunch. They call it Tomoeba. And that's it. That's the silver bullet. It's the cure. Of course, it's not that easy. There's always a catch, right? The Tomoeba, the cure, only lives in this razor-thin layer of Adrian's atmosphere. So to get a sample, they have to literally fly the Hail Mary right through that layer while traveling at 500 meters per second. It's a maneuver that is, for all intents and purposes, completely impossible. So what do? They come up with a solution that is just as bonkers as it is brilliant. Rocky's ship is made of this super strong alien metal called xenonite, so they decide to make a giant 10-kilometer-long fishing line out of it. The plan is to fly above the dangerous atmosphere and just dangle a sampler down into it. They're literally going fishing for microbes in space. You can't make this stuff up. And it works. Against all logic, against all odds, the crazy plan actually works. They get the sample. They have the cure. They did it! They've saved both their worlds. Or not. The heat from the engines reflects back, and it melts one of the fuel tanks. Astrophage starts leaking out. And what does Astrophage do when it sees a giant energy source like a planet? It ignites. Suddenly, their ship has an unplanned, uncontrolled thruster, and it sends them into a catastrophic, life-threatening spin. And in that chaos, their partnership becomes something so much more. Grace is pinned down by the G-forces. He's suffocating. His air is running out. So what does Rocky do? He leaves his high-pressure ammonia atmosphere and comes into the human part of the ship, an environment that is completely toxic to him. He manages to cut Grace free right before he collapses. Grace, barely able to move himself, then has to risk everything to drag his unconscious friend back to safety. They literally save each other's lives. At this point, they're not partners anymore. They're family. Okay, so they managed to get the ship fixed. They've got the Talmomoeba growing in the lab. It's finally time to go home. They get ready to say their goodbyes, two heroes about to return to their worlds. But you know, science just had to have one last cruel joke to play. See, to get the Talmomoeba to survive back home, they had to breed them to handle nitrogen. The problem is, in doing that, they accidentally created a new strain. A strain that can eat through xenonite. Remember xenonite? That's the super strong metal Rocky's entire ship is made of. The cure that will save Earth is a death sentence for Rocky and his people. And the weight of that is just unimaginable. Grace can see exactly how it's going to play out. He can go back to Earth, be the hero who saved humanity, but he'll know for the rest of his life that somewhere out in the black, his friend's ship is slowly dissolving, leaving Rocky to die all alone. His victory would literally be built on his friend's grave. And that leads us to the final, absolutely impossible choice. He only has enough fuel for one trip. Path A, go home to Earth, get a hero's welcome, save billions of human lives. Path B, turn around, go after Rocky, save him and the entire Iridian species, and never, ever see home again. So what does he do? In a way, he does both. He packs up the cure, all the data, everything into these 4 little probes. He shoots them off towards Earth. His mission, to save humanity, done. Complete. Earth is saved. And then, he turns the Hail Mary around, and he floors it, burning every last drop of fuel he has to go save his friend. And that's where our story ends. Not on Earth, but on Irid, Rocky's home planet. Ryland Grace, the guy who woke up with no idea who he was, finally found himself. He's not a hero, he's not a famous scientist, he's a teacher. He's back in a classroom, well, a dome built just for him, and he's teaching a class full of curious, little spider-like children all about the universe. He completed his mission, sure, but more than that, he kept his promise to his friend. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the point of saving a world if not for the
Since you've
friendships
made
we
it
make
this
along the
far,
way?
it's clear you enjoyed the journey. But keep in mind, this is not the end. It's only the beginning. Starting today, we'll explore spine-chilling horror, breathtaking action, and heart-touching romance. Every story you're looking for stays right here. So don't miss out on our upcoming adventures. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and leave a like. If you enjoyed it, stay awesome. Peace.